We're studying game film.
Seems to me there's more to college than just hitting the books.
Scribbling X's and O's. Even running wind sprints to get our voices in shape. All this for our coverage of college football just for you.
Just leave it to the professionals.
From spring drills to hoisting the national championship trophy. When you want football, you want 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Reimagined. TGL, presented by SoFi on ESPN and the ESPN app. All of TGL, all in one place.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
We said it all season long. This was perhaps the easiest path, and that Josh Allen and company had no excuses. Here's a team that is in your division that you have reigned over. They have an amazing season. They get to the Super Bowl, and then they have that type of performance. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills had to watch that game kicking themselves that they didn't get it done this season.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2. ACC Network, your home for ACC men's basketball.
Our time is right now.
The excellence of these programs, the national championships, the Hall of Famers, nothing compares to it.
They have championship expectations.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It is Friday, February the 13th, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. Up on the Hill last night, Alabama A&M's women won for the 11th straight time, downing Arkansas Pine Bluff 82-54. The Lady Bulldogs lead the SWAC by a full game over Alcorn State. On the subject of first-place women's basketball teams, the Lady Chargers from UAH notched their 22nd victory of the year, downing Christian Brothers 68-46. The Charger men made it 3 in a row as they downed Christian Brothers as well last night, 79-63. You'll be able to hear both games at Union tomorrow beginning at 2 o'clock here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And in college football, Mississippi Judge Robert Whitwell has granted quarterback Trinidad Chambliss another year of eligibility at the University of Mississippi. The NCAA is back in court today with Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on. That's my dog. Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my...
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. What, you thought because the football season, we're in a little break in the football season, you think that's going to stop us from doing a Football Friday show? Get out of here. That's what I'm talking about right there. That gets you in the mood. It's always Football Friday in the doghouse.
And that's football music throughout the show. Now, we're going to see if we can get football music throughout the show today, because we got a little change on the other side of the glass for today and Monday. But regardless of the fact that we are now between the Super Bowl and spring ball and spring UFL and combine and the draft and players in court suing so that they can play more college football, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's still Football Friday. Trinidad Chambliss is back for Ole Miss because I guess he had a cold or something. Money. It cost them, as much as $6 million potentially. And now today, Joey Aguilar's case is being heard in Knoxville for him to continue playing for the Vols, just retarding the entire development of redshirt freshman quarterback George McIntyre and true freshman quarterback Faison Brandon, who, to be honest with you, has his name backwards. I mean, Brandon Faison makes a lot more sense to me than Faison Brandon. We're going to have to get used to that. How are we going to get used to that deal? So that's out there as well. Who is old enough to remember when kids used to go to court to get into the NFL? In 1983, Herschel Walker left Georgia after his junior year, and he joined the USFL since the NFL would not allow underclassmen into the NFL draft.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
I was there. I saw it. He's like, I want to go. I'm done with college. I'm done with Georgia. No, you can't go into the draft yet. You're only a junior. That's all right. I'll go play in the USFL. Then in 1989, they let Barry Sanders in the draft as a junior because Oklahoma State was going on probation. And you couldn't, transfer or anything. It was like, you're not going anywhere. So they told him, well, guess what? You want to be, you can, you can go in the draft. The next year he was the first underclassman to go into the NFL draft, drafted by the Lions. The next year in 1990, they allowed juniors to apply for the draft, and 28 went in. This year, there's 63 underclassmen who have declared for the draft. But back in 2018, there was 109 underclassmen in the draft. But now the kids are fighting to stay in school and get paid. Now, one of the best college football voices in the country is Conor O'Gara, and he will join us at the top of the 11. In the meantime, we have the 500 Fecta for you today.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
Pace car, yeah. Go hit the pace car. You hit everything else. Might as well hit the pace car. So the duels are done. And Sunday, weather permitting, we'll get the Great American Race. And here's the deal. You just give me your 3-car team. Just give me your
think of Jesus like with giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band.
Yeah. Jesus could be singing the lead vocals and play the lead guitar and be the drummer all at the same time for Skinner. All right, phone lines are open. Hour number 1 is wide open for you to get in. So feel free to jump in and contribute at 256-5764. 97.7. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. Right now, I'm looking at the message. I don't even know how. I don't know how we're going to do this. I guess I'm getting texts now, but I'm looking at the caller sheet, and we've got a call from New Orleans and a call from Florida. But go ahead, the local folk, go ahead and jump on board with that. 256-576-4977. Text window is open as well. You can give me your picks there as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. Maybe, can we get a graphic up? I completely forgot that Grasshopper wasn't there today. I don't know if we could get a 500. I'll just post something that we have a 500 fecta going for you here. $100 worth of Donato's pizza for this 500 fecta. $100 worth of Donato's. You can watch the show as well, WZZN TV, on the YouTube and the Facebook and the X. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. I think you can. I don't know. After 5 days of competition in Italy, NBC said now that the U.S. coverage of the Olympics is averaging 26.5 million viewers across the broadcast networks. It's a 93% increase from the comparable period in the 2022 Winter Olympics, which were in Beijing, and it represents I'll tell you what, I wasn't the only one. I don't want to watch it because it was in China. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to support something in China. And it represents the most watched Winter Games at this point since 2014 when they were in the Sochi, Russia. Last Sunday night's primetime coverage after the Super Bowl averaged 42 million viewers, making it the most watched Winter Olympic broadcast in 12 years. Now, last night, the snowboard cross was featured. It's just outstanding. And look, after hockey, it's my favorite thing in the Olympics, in the Winter Olympics. It is. It's my favorite thing. 4 dudes going down the slope together, banking. They have high banking. They got like 33-degree banking. Guys drafting and everything else. I mean, come on. It was outstanding. They featured the half pipe as well. As the half pipe is boring to me. It is. It's a contest, not a sport. It's a contest because you get points for style. Anything that there's a judge sitting there and deciding that, that was good style, and she hit that front 1080, and then she did a corkscrew with a half cork, and get out of here. The snowboard cross is a sport. Why? We're going to start at the top of the hill. We're going down together, and whoever gets to the bottom of the hill first wins. How about that? Whoever gets to the finish line first wins. That's sport. That's sport. Anything that is judged or that involves the South Korean judge giving you a 9, whatever, that's a contest. I mean, it's fine. They're great athletes. Don't get me wrong. They're tremendous athletes. But that is a contest. A sport is, okay, I'm going to strap a couple of 2x4s to my feet, and I'm going to go down a hill at 90 miles an hour, okay? Let's see if I can live. That's a sport. I'm going to jump in this sled and race down this hill. I'm not getting any extra points for style or anything else. I'm just going down the hill. And if I get to the bottom first, fastest, I win. That's a sport, not a contest. What I was interested in last night was Myles Garrett being there to support his little girlfriend, Chloe Kim, who was way too happy to finish second in the half pipe.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Well, she was like flipping out because she finished second. I don't know. The little girl that beat her, I think she was a Chinese girl that beat her, was like her protege. She met this little girl when she was like 8 or 9 years old, and they took it. I don't care. I mean, that's all fine and dandy. Dale Earnhardt was never totally excited because he got beat by Jeff Gordon. He wanted to put him in a wall. crazy. But it did get me to wondering, like, what if Myles Garrett and Chloe Kim got married and they have a kid? You know what I mean? Because that's the natural order of things, right? That's the way it's supposed to work. You get married, you have a kid. So let's say that they do that. What kind of a kid are they going to have? I mean, can you imagine the love child of Myles Garrett and Chloe Kim? I mean, if it's a boy, does he do like a front 1080 before he sacks the quarterback? I mean, if it's a girl, does she just hit the first jump in the half pipe and then land at the base of the hill after flying all the way the rest of the way down the hill? I mean, it's got to be one athletic kid, right? But if it's not, how screwed up is that kid going to be? If that kid is not like a tremendous athlete, how screwed up is that kid going to be? Can you imagine? All right, so daddy's the best defensive end in the NFL. Mommy has multiple gold medals, and I can't learn how to ride my bike. That's jacked up. All right, back in mission control. I completely forgot about this. Playing at Play Doesn't Matter to Stacks of Wax. Keeping us on the air. Maybe posting something on the X. I don't know. I do know that he is a NASCAR fan. But Hollywood Hogan is on his own today.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Yeah. So Hollywood's mixing the show. Hollywood, I completely forgot that you had this all to yourself today. Are you able to, are you confident? Are you comfortable in this deal? I mean, I know that you used to do the morning show all by yourself, but are you feeling good that you can do?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. I don't think you've ever done my show before all by your lonesome, have you?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. So how are you going to, is this the way you're going to communicate with me in terms of the callers? Is that what you want to do? Or do you?
Yeah, I can just let you know over here. Or I could do it in queue.
Oh, no, don't do it in queue. I'm not that talented. I can't like do it when people are talking to me. I guess just do what you're doing now.
Yes, sir.
I guess that'll work. That'll work fine. All right. So, and I forgot to give Grasshopper the details for the 500 Fecta so that we can put an image up. But at least we can. Let me ask you this: is that I haven't even gone to the X yet? Look, I'm talking like I'm a squirrel. Oh look, there goes a squirrel. I'm so fired up. I'm so jacked up today. I haven't even been over to the X yet. Have you already posted? Is the show running on WZZN TV right now?
Yes, sir. It's already posted.
So you're doing all of this multiple things. All right. So you're doing multiple things. All right. So what I need to put. How do you like my background today?
I like it a lot. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to see the start of the documentary last night, but.
So it's only an hour long. Have you watched many things? He's talking about the Dale Earnhardt documentary, We've Lost Dale Earnhardt, which are the famous words that were uttered by Mike Heldon, who had just been named the president of NASCAR, and he's the one who had to make that announcement. He was great friends with Earnhardt. Have you seen other, like the movie Tree and other documentaries about the Dale Earnhardt?
I have not seen the movie. I did see the Earnhardt documentary on Prime that came out last year.
Right. That was extensive. I'm just going to say this, and for the listeners that saw it, I will say this about that. I don't think we saw anything. I don't think there was anything new yesterday. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't think that last night I watched it. It's only an hour long. I watched it. I don't really think that we found anything new in there. There was a couple of things maybe that I didn't know, but it didn't seem like there was much in there. There wasn't any footage of anything that was new. They did not show the in-car. We have never really seen the in-car of Impact. We see the in-car with him behind Junior and Michael Waltrip, but we don't see they don't show impact, and they never have. And I hope they never do, to be honest with you. The only thing that was a little bit different was they had the kid from Malcolm in the Middle who drives. You know what I'm talking about?
Frankie Muniz?
Yes. Frankie Munoz, whatever he is. He's a driver now. I guess he drives trucks. He'll be driving tonight in the truck race, maybe.
Yes, sir.
So he's in it, and he met Dale Earnhardt. He was one of the what do you call it thing? He was like in the pace car before the race, and that was a Fox show. Remember, this is the very first race ever on Fox. It's February 18, 2001. It's the very first race ever on Fox, and they used it to promote all of their stuff. The normal budget for a race on TNN, on the National Network or TNT was like $300,000 a race. Fox spent $3 million on the production. Yeah, I mean that's how different it was. Fox just took it to another level, and so this is the first Darrell Waltrip and his brother Mikey wins the race. Right, this is the first time Mike Joy and Larry McReynolds and those guys. This is the first time on Fox. And so they were promoting all of their shows. So they had the little kid from Malcolm in the Middle, which was a Fox show on Sunday, and the show was coming up after, the 500. They had a little kid from Malcolm in the Middle. He was in the pace car. Well, he was a big race fan, and he got to go to the driver meeting before the race and met Dale Earnhardt and spent 3 minutes with Dale Earnhardt, talking about the race. So, so there was that. Did you watch the duels?
Yes, sir.
Both of them.
I did not catch the end. I should say I saw the beginning of the second one, but I turned it off. I was so dejected after LaJoy wrecking out, so I just turned it off.
That was an amazing deal. What happened there? So here's the thing. I'm a Logano guy, even though he's bald now.
He's undefeated when he's bald.
Undefeated with no hair. Why in his headshot that they show, when they showed a driver headshot in the thing, why wasn't he wearing a hat? I mean, put a hat on. He looks fake bald, doesn't he?
It
he
kind of does look like a filter to a degree.
Yes. Or it looks like one of them things like when they take a person, an actor that's got hair, and they put the
bald cap?
Skin cap on him. Yeah. He looks fake, but it looks like Kazoo. He looks like he's got this big old melon sticking up there.
It doesn't feel right.
No. It doesn't look natural. So wear a hat, will you? For God's sakes, Joey, wear a hat. So anyway, I'm watching it. There's like 8 or 10 laps to go. And my wife comes in after dinner. She cleans up from after dinner. She had made a nice little dinner for us. She comes and she sits down on the couch and there's 10 laps to go. And she's like, are you watching this now? Because, that's fine. Or are we going to watch the Olympics? And we're watching the Olympics every night. So I had it recording anyway while I was watching it. I had race 1, race 2, and we lost Dale Earnhardt. I had all of that stuff recording. So I said, no, sit down. Sit down. We can watch the Olympics. Sit down. So she sits down so we can watch the Olympics, and I just switch it over. And I'm getting like major points because I cut the race off. Little does she know I'm just going to watch it later on, when she goes to sleep. But I'm watching, I cut it off. So at the end of the Olympics, now it's like 10 o'clock. And she's like ready to go to bed. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay here on the couch and watch because we weren't in the bedroom. I'm going to watch the last 10 laps of the race. So I cut over to watch the last 10 laps of the race on the YouTube, had it recorded. And for some reason, when I hit it to pick up where I left off, it was at the end of the race. And they're like, oh, Logano won. And it was chaos at the end of the race. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. So I had to go back, I scrub back and watch all of it, but I knew what had happened, and it was very annoying.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
It was a very chaotic ending to a lot of, it was clean up until the very end.
Well, because they're not really racing for anything anymore. It's not like in the old days you were racing to get into that race. Now, they're racing for positioning and starting position, and you do want to be near the front, but it's not like there's really much going on. So they just cut laps. For however many laps it is, 60 laps or whatever it is to make 100 50 miles. They just cut laps, and then they got a little crazy at the end.
Did you see the RFK Fords, though, when all 4 of them lined up and just pushed themselves out to the front, and they had about 4-car length gap? I mean,
you had the RFK Fords in one lane, and then you had the you had the Penske Fords in the other lane. And I think the Fords are going to be strong. The Toyotas were not very good. There's one on the outside front row, but in traffic, they were not very good. So anyway, so we've got it set up for you. And Hollywood's a big NASCAR fan. So if you want his advice, you can ask his advice. So we're going to get our first break. And when we come back, we're open lines. And we're going to start things up. Wolverine Dan is sitting by a pool in New Orleans. And he's up first. Then Paulie and the Cape, you can jump on board with those guys as well. $100 of Donato's Pizza at the 2 North Alabama locations of Donato's Pizza. I got $100 of Donato's Pizza, which, by the way, you can buy on Deals today. Today, you can go to Deals and buy Donato's Pizza for half price, but you can win it today if you can give me the winning team. And if we have a tie, it'll be, in terms of the numbers, we'll go then by finishing position. But you don't have to have the winner of the race. You can have a guy that finishes 3rd, 6th, and 8th. You know what I mean? Or if your guy wrecks out early in, one of your guys wrecks out early in, it's like missing a cut in a golf tournament. You're going to lose. So give me your 3-man team when we return. Tom Abraham Show. Back with more in a moment.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be part of the Southeastern Conference? That yours is the only conference with its own chant? Well, yes, but it means more than that. It means a study abroad program that might include reforestation in a mangrove swamp in Australia. It means finding your calling, your future spouse, your startup's co-founders, and of course, grilling tongs that play your fight song. This is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
AL cert number 21014.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
Thomas, I need you guys to light my flame sensor.
Excuse me?
Yeah, my gas valve's not flowing, buddy.
What do y'all need over there?
Oh, I need you to exchange my heat exchanger.
You don't have to speak the love language of a furnace to call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. We can come out and do a $49 tune-up, and you'll get savings off of that, and we'll be able to figure out what's going on with your system.
Can you keep my flame lit this Valentine's Day?
We can definitely keep your flame lit.
Who do I got to call?
Call Talent at 256-503-4490.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
That was weird.
It's Talent Heating and Air. They're live. They're local. Give them a call today.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center, longtime friends of the show. To be honest with you, it's been about 20 years that we have been hooked up with TOC, and they just do such a great job. They service the Huntsville Havoc, Alabama A&M, most of the high schools in the region. They got 13 locations all throughout the Tennessee Valley. So if you have an orthopedic problem, if you're considering professional care, really, TOC, it's the only logical choice. You need to contact TOC. Make your appointment. When you need them, they're there. Always in the Tennessee Valley, TOC. Yeah, welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. The Football Friday in the Doghouse with a 500 effective for you as well. Some of your picks are already coming in on the text window as Badger Larry took Blaney, Elliott, and Kozlowski. And Bama Brad is in with his as well. He takes the 24, the 5, and the 9. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is you got to just give me a team. Give me your 3-man team. And if you want to know what Hollywood thinks, since he's a big NASCAR fan, you can ask him, and he'll give you his team as well. He said, Grumpy says that NASCAR has become an NBA game. Skip the first 3 quarters of the event and tune in for the 4th quarter. Yeah, he's not 100% wrong. That's more true, though, I think, on the intermediate tracks. I think the tracks that have the restricted horsepower package, we used to call it, a restrictor plate package. They're not restrictor plates anymore. They don't run restrictor plates anymore. But this week here, next week in Atlanta, Talladega, where the pack racing is, which is my favorite kind of, I love it. I absolutely love it. That is edge of your seat the whole time. Edge of your seat the whole time. The intermediate cookie cutter 1.5-mile tracks, they just around. And they're just cutting laps. Whoever gets out in front after the restart, they're not very racy, to be honest with you. And then at the end, the last 50 miles, everybody goes nuts. That's why, for me, I would like to see heat races. If it's a the Richmond 400 or something like that, I mean, you can go 400, but give me a 100-mile heat, and a 500-mile or in a 200-mile final. You know what I mean, Hollywood? Give me something like that where you send out 20 cars for 100 miles in the top 10 transfer to the final. And then you send out another 20 cars for 100 miles and the top 10 transfer to the final. And then you give me 20 cars on the track for a 200-mile final. Something like that.
I feel like that would definitely help in the viewership department for sure.
Yeah.
People want to tune in for the main event.
Yeah. I'm not a big stage racing type fan. The stage points and all of that. I don't like that. And I don't like in the Daytona 500, I want all hot laps. If there's a caution because it was a wreck, that's fine. But the Daytona 500, you get each time they have the end of a stage, you get 7 or 8 laps under caution that are contrived. You're taking away literally, it's the Daytona 450. They run 50 miles, 40, 50 miles, something like that, under caution while they're after a stage, at the end of a stage. And it's like you just stole racing time from me. That's how I feel about it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I wonder if they stop the lap counter when a caution comes out. So, like, if a caution comes out at, like, lap 250, let's say that there was 250 laps.
Mm-hmm.
The lap counter does not start back until it's green again.
If it was an accident, I'm okay with counting those caution laps. But I think that after a stage, those laps should not count. The caution laps, the contrived caution laps, the caution laps that you get, okay, they're going to throw a caution flag now at the end of the stage 1. And now you're going to give me 5 caution laps. Well, let me tell you something. The track is 2.5 miles long. 5 laps is 15 miles. I'm no math major, but I think that's 15 miles. So you just took 15 miles away from me. Then you're going to do it again and again. So I think that the lap counter should not, I don't think caution laps under, a stage caution should count. That's what I thought. I don't think. All right. Wolverine Dan is poolside in New Orleans, and he's up first. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
I
How'd you like those picks?
What's a nice picture? Is it? How warm is it down there? Because it's like going to be 55 degrees here in the Tennessee Valley. How warm is it in New Orleans?
I'm in a heated swimming pool. I'm in a heated swimming pool, bro.
Yeah, but how warm is the air? I don't care about the pool. How warm is the air?
70.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice day.
Yeah. So I'm in a poolside here. And Miss Gigi, that's what my little granddaughter calls Ginger, brought me from a pastry. What's it called? The pastry place?
Your daughter picked that up and made it for you. Blue lingerie.
And we have it's a everything bagel with bacon, eggs, cheese, and then it's a crawfish Creole sauce.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Are you there for Mardi Gras?
LSU Liz.
Are you there for
LSU Liz? This is for you. Hey, that's for you, bro.
He's at the Mardi Gras in Alabama, where people keep their shirts on. You're at the Mardi. Are you there for Mardi Gras in New Orleans? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
have you ever gone before? Have you ever gone?
Yeah, many times. Many times.
You keep your shirt on?
I don't go downtown. Yeah, my shirt's off right now in the pool.
It is.
But
at the parade.
No, hell no. We go to Magazine Street.
We don't go to
St. Charles. It's more family oriented. There's nobody hanging boobs out or nothing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So LSU, man, you gotta call in Lynch. You tell me exactly where you're from because I can go back to see your family if you want me to.
No, he's over at Orange Beach. He's over in Alabama.
Geez.
He's not at that Mardi Gras. He's at the Mardi Gras over there where it started by Mobile.
Yeah.
What do you have maize and blue beads?
Yeah, they got those. They got those here.
Are they in your colors though?
Everybody wants them. Yeah, when I was walking around, people kept saying, "Hey, three-peat national championship! Congratulations!" I hear it all the time down here.
Yeah. I imagine. But they're not. Apparently, they're not talking about. Apparently, they're not talking. So they're talking about the last 100 years of Michigan football when they say three-peat.
Okay. Hey, how about my basketball team, bro? Look at them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Woo-wee.
They're pretty good.
Good, bro. And the Pistons, 40-13. That's not bad, bro.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. All right, USA Hockey. It's all. Go USA now. Let's do the trifecta, and I'll get back to my croissant or bagel.
All right, give me your three driver team for the 500.
All right. First off, Larry, thanks for taking Kozlowski, but I'm not going to take him. I'm going to go Blaney.
Ooh. So taking
Cedric.
the 12.
Cedric.
Who was the second one? Oh, Cedric?
Cedric. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm taking William Byron.
The 24.
So it's
all right,
Blaney,
you got
Cedric, Byron.
All right, you got him, man. Be careful down there.
All right, I appreciate it.
When are you coming back?
Talk to you later.
All right, we'll see. All right. I don't even know. What's Cedric running right now?
What car?
I don't even know what. Yeah.
He's in the number 2 Penske.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm just checking the odds now. Those of you don't want to know, Blaney is 12-1, Logano 12-1, Hamlin, Byron are 14-1. Cindric is 16-1. Austin Cindric, 16. I'm thinking of, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of one of the other guys. The kid that was in the 10 before.
Gregson?
No, Gregson. Yeah, I know he had to go to the back. Can you believe that cheating deal? I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was cheating. He put his hand against the window net during qualifying, and was pushing the window net out. And apparently, that makes you more. Who thinks of that kind of stuff?
Well, they've been doing it for forever, but
it just
recently
made the rule.
Recently they changed the rule.
Well, who does that? It's nuts. Paulie in the Cape is up next. Paulie, welcome to the show. How are you? Paulie, what's going on?
How you doing, Tom?
I'm fantastic.
My picks are going to be number 8, number 19, and number 22.
Oh, I like your team. I don't like 8 at all, but I do like your team. So you got a Chevy, a Toyota, and a Ford. That's probably not a bad strategy.
I'm a Chevy man, so I'm thinking gotta go with the Chevy.
Yeah. I like the 9 better than the 8, but yeah.
Yeah, can't wait to see to the draft. Can't wait for spring ball to finally start coming over here and see the Yankees come down here.
Yeah, spring training. Do you think you're a Dolphins fan? Do you think the Dolphins are gonna? I think you're stuck with. I say stuck. I don't think Tua's going anywhere.
I wanted them to draft Herbert from the get-go, so I could care less what happens. And as far as Mardi Gras, yeah, it used to be a lot of fun back in the day, and then it slowly got rude, and it just started getting stupid. But if anybody remembers back in the day, the power of how unique your beads were, you wouldn't believe how much power you possessed with certain beads. And when I lived in Memphis, I was a member of the River Yacht Club, and then you had Reciprocity, the other yacht clubs. So I'm hanging out down there with my buddy at the New Orleans Yacht Club, and then here comes all the power people that are going to be on the cruise on the cruise with those big floats,
right?
And they handed out beads that were unbelievable, just beautiful, just unbelievable stuff. And
so I didn't know they did this in Memphis. So the Memphis has a Mardi Gras too?
No, I'm talking about going to Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but hanging out at the yacht club in New Orleans during Mardi Gras. It's a whole
I thought you said
vibe.
Memphis. I thought you would hang out when you. Oh, so you lived in Memphis, but you went down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Only because I found out I could hang out at the yacht club in New Orleans.
I get it
during Mardi Gras.
I get it because you had to. So you had to prep. Yeah. You had to reciprocate with the yacht club down there. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a whole different vibe down there, and there's a lot of much more fun and more, more what's the word I'm looking for? Just high end,
Yeah, so. I have never been to New Orleans. As close as we are, I to be honest with you, I have never been to New Orleans for anything.
The way I know how the way your character is. I tell you, just like me, I've been all over this country, living all over the place, from New York City all over, but New Orleans would be the one town that will kill me to be that town. And
I've never been.
Was it how you love food and life, and just having a good, solid, good hearty time? That's the town back in the day, The food, the party, That'd be the town that could, because I could live off those shrimp po' boys all day, every day.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen, but they're due for another hurricane down there, and the thing is, the city is built below sea level, and it always drove me nuts that the city is below sea level, and we have to keep paying for it every time they get swamped in a hurricane, and our insurance rates all go up, and the whole nation has to get together, and we got to do New Orleans, and we got to help New Orleans and give money to New Orleans, and I'm like, here's an idea: how about we send them some moving vans and get them the hell out of New Orleans and stop? It's a swamp. Why are we living in a swamp? Okay? I mean, stop having all these people living in a swamp.
Only because we're trying to outdo Venice and Italy. Hey, they live in a water thing. They're just above water. Why can't we?
Yeah.
But it's who can last the longest. But I hear you. They need to relocate out that to higher ground. But unfortunately, once you chop history away from our country.
That didn't make any sense. All right, Paulie.
I'm just saying.
Good luck with your team. It's good.
Go Yankees.
Good job by you. Go Yankees is right. God, it won't be long now. Next Saturday, spring training games. Next Saturday. Jason is up next. Jason, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
What's going on?
How are you?
I am fantastic.
Great. Hey, how many pepperoni pizzas can you get for $100?
I'll tell you what, you can get some. I mean, in a Donato's pepperoni pizza's got a lot of pepperoni on it, and it goes wall to wall. They go right to the edge with the pepperoni, man. I mean, that's about you probably get about 10, I would think, out of that.
Yeah, I'll be eating pizza Tuesday after I get to put these 3 picks in.
All right, give me your team.
Okay, I'm going with 11.
11.
Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
All right. Who else you like?
Okay, I like 8.
The 8 car? Are you kidding me?
Shake it back. It rhymes. They're both verbs.
Guys with this 8 car. All right, what else you got?
And then 12.
And the 12 car of Blaney. The Penske car. So 2 Toyotas, or no, a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford. Okay, good. Good job by you. Every time I think of Bush, I think of Toyota. I forget that he's in a Chevy now.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one, Tom.
All right, man. You too. It's a good job by you. I'm a little bit confused by you, Hollywood, because aren't you? You said you like Toyota, don't you?
Yes, sir.
But you're a Kyle Busch fan, right?
I was a Kyle Busch fan when he was in a Toyota, and I'm still a Kyle Busch fan now. But I do like Toyota.
So now do you pull for the bow tie now, or what do you do now?
I do pull for Kyle Busch, even though he's a Chevy.
Even though he's a Chevy.
Yes, sir.
So are you pulling for? You pull just for the driver, or do you pull for the team? Are you pulling for Richard Childress Racing?
No.
Or you just no?
I only pull for drivers. I don't like the team. Does not matter to me.
Yeah, if my guy is not getting it done, then and that's Joey Logano. If he's not getting it done, then I'm pulling for Cindric and Blaney. I do the one Chevy I'll pull for is the 3 car because it's the 3 car. I don't like the kid. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't like him that much. I don't hate him. Like I hate Kyle Busch. But I'll pull for the 3 car because it's a 3 car. Yeah. And he's got Bass Pro Shops sponsorship. So that's the other reason why I like him.
I'm pulling for the 42 this weekend. I think he's a really sleeper pick. His average finish last year was really good. So yeah. I think John Hunter's got a shot.
Yeah, and I like him. Great. He's great in the trucks as well. His dad was great in the trucks. It's good. He's very, very solid. All right, we'll get a break. When we come back, 256-576-4977. That will get you into the show. Yes, it's Football Friday, but we do have a Daytona 500 this week. You want to jump on board with that, you can do that as well. It's another big Saturday of SEC basketball coming up as well. Texas A&M at Vandy is a big one. Kentucky's back in the top 25, and they are at Florida. We'll see what's going on with them. LSU and Tennessee. Auburn's got that big game at Arkansas as well. That will be a great game for Auburn to get straightened out and get a victory there. And then Alabama hosting South Carolina, worst team in the SEC. Alabama should cruise against South Carolina this weekend as well. Should Alabama be even thinking about dumping the game with Ohio State? As of press time, I don't think that game has been dumped yet. Do you think Alabama should get rid of the home and home with Ohio State based on especially what happened with Texas last year, going to Ohio State, outgaining Ohio State by 200 yards, but losing that game 14-7, and that ultimately kept them out of the playoffs? Should Alabama dump the Ohio State game in 27-28? You want to react to that? I'll give you my opinion next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brett Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday. Danny Hamlin, the 9-1 favorite. Kyle Busch on the pole with a lap of 183.925 miles an hour. He's 10-1. Chase Briscoe on the outside of row 1 is 20-1. The dual winners, Joey Logano's 10-1 and Chase Elliott 16-1. They'll start 3rd and 4th on the grid Sunday for the Great American Race. Tomorrow, it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Austin Hill, the plus 450 favorite to win the United Rentals 300. While in the Craftsman Truck Series tonight, it's a fresh from 4 to 250. Lane Riggs and Carson Ochoa, the 10-1 co-favorites. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore and Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care, no appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. A couple of folks could see the lower 60s. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Valentine's Day is going to come with plenty of cloud cover and scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Better chances for rain on Sunday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental. And they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. Now, welcome back to Tom Abraham Show. Whose song is that?
That is the College Game Day theme.
Oh, okay. From this year?
From 13 years ago.
From 13 years ago. Okay. I'd like the Big and Rich one. Remember when they did the Big and Rich one with We're Coming to Your Town?
I believe so.
That was good. Yeah. Ari Wasserman of On3 wrote an article, and the headline of it was Blue Bloods shouldn't back out. If Alabama cancels Ohio State series, college football loses. To which Jimmy Stein replied, our friend Jimmy Stein replied, Indiana just won a national title deservingly. their non-conference schedule was Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. Where's Ari's column criticizing Indiana's scheduling decisions? Or does he save those only for Alabama? To which I replied, I guess it's different rules for blue bloods versus new bloods. Look, Indiana deserved their national championship. There's no doubt about it. They deserved that national championship. Their path was ridiculously easy, as were many of the teams in the Big Ten. The Big Ten had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their teams did not play a non-conference Power 4 team. They brag about the fact that they played 9 conference games, but while Indiana was playing, Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State, Maryland was playing FAU, NIU, and Towson State. Northwestern was playing Tulane, Western Illinois, and but they had one other in there that was a non-conference game. ULM. Penn State played Nevada. Penn State, which was a favorite. They play a favorite in the Natty. They played Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, and the coach got fired halfway through the season because they won those games, but they weren't tough enough to win when they started playing their conference games. Now, Ohio State, at least they played Texas, and they'll play Texas at Texas this year. They also played Grambling and Ohio. Michigan played Oklahoma at Oklahoma, lost the game. Played New Mexico and Central Michigan. Next year, Oklahoma will be at Michigan. So at least they got a legit one in there. But look, I understand what happened with Texas and that the committee, at the end of the day, the committee still has to make a decision as to whether or not, yes, you lost that game. How good a loss was that? Now, the Texas loss to Ohio State really, as it turns out, is a really, if there is such a thing, I hate the term good loss. But when you look at that loss, they dominated that game, turned the ball over too many times and lost 14-7 at Ohio State. How many other teams are going to Ohio State? None of the Big Ten teams could get that close. Now, Indiana took them out behind the woodshed in the championship game. But this upcoming year, Indiana as the defending champions. Indiana is playing North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky. Now, I know what Wasserman is saying by saying that, blue bloods, shouldn't. Okay, fine. But it is I guess it's a different rule. Now, I didn't read the article because it's behind the On3 paywall, and I'm not paying to read Ari Wasserman's article. So I don't know exactly where he's going. I agree. It's not good for college football to have these good intersectional games dropped. Shouldn't get away with playing North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky next year as the defending national champions. Bad enough they're also playing Northwestern and Rutgers, Nebraska, Purdue. I mean, half their schedule's trash. They do get Ohio State and Michigan next year and USC. But it doesn't mean they should play North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky. All right, coming up next, we'll talk some college football, and we will do it with Conor O'Gara right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said,
If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
There's power in caring when it's been patched.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Friday, February the 13th, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. Up on the hill last night, Alabama A&M's women won for the 11th straight time, downing Arkansas Pine Bluff 82-54. The Lady Bulldogs lead the SWAC by a full game over Alcorn State. On the subject of first-place women's basketball teams, the Lady Chargers from UAH notched their 22nd victory of the year, downing Christian Brothers 68-46. The Charger men made it 3 in a row as they downed Christian Brothers as well last night, 79-63. You'll be able to hear both games at Union tomorrow beginning at 2 o'clock here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And in college football, Mississippi Judge Robert Whitwell has granted quarterback Trinidad Chambliss another year of eligibility at the University of Mississippi. The NCAA is back in court today with Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on. That's my dog. Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome in on a Football Friday in the Doghouse. So glad that you are with us as we add a new audience to the show this hour. And, of course, those are our friends listening in Nashville and Nashville Sports Radio in Nashville and in Murfreesboro. We'll go along with our friends at 97.7 ESPN in Huntsville and also ESPN Winchester in Winchester, Tennessee, and our various signals as well. We welcome one and all. And look, if you thought that Football Friday was going away because we're in this little gap, all right, this little gap where there's no football for a couple of minutes, you're wrong. We got spring ball coming up. We got the UFL coming up. We got the combine. We got the draft. And we got whatever other court cases that we want to have to allow players to come back and play college football forever, basically, if they want. All right. You heard about the Trinidad Chambliss story. He's back at Ole Miss. Joey Aguilar is supposedly in court today as well. We'll see if he can get continue to play. I'm old enough to remember when players used to sue to try and get out of college football and get into the NFL. And it was 1989 before they allowed a junior in the draft, and that was Barry Sanders, and they only allowed that because of the fact that Oklahoma State was going on probation. And even with them going on probation, you couldn't transfer from your school without sitting out a year. So they told Barry Sanders, okay, you can go to the NFL. And then the next year, they allowed, 28 kids to go to the NFL. So to talk about that and other topics, by the way, we do have a 500 Fecta for you today. And we'll get the phone lines back going in a little bit. I'll re-explain that as well. But I'm just looking for your 3 drivers for the Daytona 500. I got $100 worth of Donato's Pizza for you if you got the winning team, the best team. So all you got to do is hit us up on the phone, 256-576-4977, or the text window, 732-982-7469 for that. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline and as well on WZZN TV, the one and the only Conor O'Gara. Conor, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I am fantastic. And before we get down the road here too much, tell us about the OG. I love this name for your podcast, the OG football podcast, with you and Will. Tell us about what's going on there.
Appreciate that. The OG Kickoff. The OG Kickoff is something that we are pivoting to because of, obviously, like for those who don't know, I was laid off at Saturday Down South, and we were fortunate enough to be able to keep the podcast feed. And so if you've been subscribed to the Saturday Down South podcast, it became the OG Kickoff. And so Will's last name is Ogburn. My last name is O'Gara. We always joke that we would have sat together in school if we had been just been placed on attendance, and we've known each other for 10 years, and we've been doing the show for a long time. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's going to be fun to be able to, kind of do what we've been doing, but do it in a little bit of a different way. Having the independence, we're going to get to try out some more things. So I'm looking forward to that. And, as you know, college football beast, it doesn't sleep. It might take a little rest, but it doesn't really sleep.
No, as a great man once said, ain't no off season in college football. So 10 and a half years or so as the senior national writer there at Saturday Down South. And beyond that, I mean, look, our listeners know they've heard you many times on the Paul Feinbaum show. If you're in the Paul Feinbaum rotation, you're good. I've always thought that you're outstanding as well. So somebody is going to snap up one heck of a national course. If the SEC Network or ESPN or one of somebody needs to pick up Conor O'Gara at some particular point in time, I think you're going to have plenty of options because you are just that good. And we appreciate you taking a few minutes with us for sure. I suppose you could go to court, right, and ask for another year of eligibility at Saturday Down South. I don't know if your eligibility is up now, I guess.
Dude, it is. Unfortunately, I've got 4 years of eligibility, actually, last I checked. So, yeah, we've got plenty to be able to use up here. It is weird to be living at a time in which it feels like so many different people are going to court, trying to be able to get eligibility, and just kind of leaving it into the hands of a local judge to decide their fate. And, up until that final ruling, however long it lasted, the ruling might still be going, that the judge is presiding over and reading the Trinidad Chambliss and, those NCAA lawyers who didn't want to waste any more time. But the way that this has all worked up until that ruling, I didn't know. I had no idea what was going to happen with Trinidad Chambliss. And I realized that there's still an appeal process for the NCAA, but it looks like he's going to be able to play football next year. And it's such a weird time in college athletics, and it's overstated how much this is truly a weird time. But I do think we'll look back 10 years from now and be like, hey, remember when you could just kind of like go to court and find your way around this, and collective bargaining wasn't a thing yet, and NIL was still the Wild West. You can just kind of sort of find your way around that. It does feel like Trinidad Chambliss found an all important loophole with the medical redshirt at Ferris State in 2022 at a Division II school. And now he's going to get to go back and play at Ole Miss. College football is better for it. Is college athletics, good for being able to have local judges rule on star quarterbacks and determine their fate? Probably not.
Yeah, well, that's the key to it, local, and that's the argument from the NCAA. I mean, we don't know what's going to go on today with Joey Aguilar. Now Tennessee, and the judge who was presiding over that deal got his law degree at Tennessee, his undergraduate degree at Tennessee as well. I don't know if his robe is orange, but I mean, it is what it is. But you go state to state, and you're getting. This is why we need some sort of national coverage on this type of stuff or oversight on this stuff, because you go state to state and you're getting different rulings in different states. And that's going to be the problem. And that's what the NCAA says is it's, some local judge says a kid can play and that's it. It's an injunction. And this isn't a restraining order. This is an injunction, which means he'll play. I mean, that's it.
Thom, weren't we always heading in this direction though? Weren't we always heading in this direction with what everybody acknowledged was a one-of-one business model? I mean, Congress looked at the NCAA and said, you are operating in terms that nobody else on planet Earth gets to operate within. And you need to acknowledge that. And you need to acknowledge that you have operated with this business structure that has gotten you to this place. Now the money has gotten too ridiculous for you to operate in this place. And that's why we cannot do this anymore. And it has created this free-for-all. The irony is that, Tennessee is kind of one of the reasons why we're at this place. The Nico Iamaleava case was really a breakthrough with being able to challenge the NCAA and say, no, you're not going to step in, and being able to rule when your rules were all over the place. Nobody kind of understood what those rules were. And so here we are, 3 years later with the Joey Aguilar case of him trying to get another year of eligibility, despite the fact he started college in 2019. And once upon a time, the NCAA would basically not give you a year of eligibility, just because you want it to be closer to your dying grandparent. Like there are so many different things that have changed with college athletics. But I honestly don't know what's going to happen with the Joey Aguilar case. You could tell me, oh, there's precedent with Trinidad Chambliss now, or maybe they're going to factor in the Charles Bediako ruling. I don't really know if they're going to take any of that into consideration. If they're talking about Carson Beck not going to school, even though that really wasn't the quote, like that was something that was cited in the Trinidad Chambliss case. This is all over the place, and it's anybody's guess how this is going to be ruled.
Shedeur Sanders never stepped foot on the Colorado campus the 2 years he was there. He never.
Look, who does? It's kids are online classes. Yeah.
You say and even his daddy said it's a rotten shame because you didn't really get any of that college experience. That there was a time when there was a time you go to college and you might have an athlete in your class, and now Shedeur Sanders played there for 2 years, never stepped foot on the campus at all. Conor O'Gara with a series on WZZN TV with us as well as over the air for those of you that are watching it there on the YouTube feed. And there has always been all of these wacky things that go on. I mean, we had a scenario, remember, years ago where a kid that was a wide receiver at Colorado got jammed up because he was on a calendar where they were trying to raise money for the U.S. ski team. He was also a mogul skier. But we then also had Chris Weinke, play 6 years of college baseball and then go win the Heisman Trophy in football. I mean, it was always these goofy things like, okay, this doesn't work, that does work. It's always been so messed up. And you just wonder where this whole thing is going to end up. Now that players are being paid anyway and they can get NIL, I've been pining for the days of like when the Celtics drafted Larry Bird and he played his senior year. He was a Boston Celtic. He had been drafted by the Celtics. They held his rights. Why not let the college, the NFL and the NBA, if you want to draft Arch Manning now, draft him, you pay him, and he could stay in college and keep playing. Why not let the NFL fund these guys? How about that?
Because the NFL doesn't want to. The NFL has a farm system, and they like that they don't have to pay for their farm system. And so there is no reason why the big bad NFL has to say, you know what we should do is we should start to help these guys out. They don't. And they've operated in that space, and they even have college football so insecure that it won't even put a playoff game on the same day as one of their games, even though I understand that there are advertising ties associated with that. But if they stood up next to the NFL and said, hey, we'd like for our Cotton Bowl to still be on a Saturday night in which you're playing meaningful football, I think I really do think that like the college football model would be just fine and everybody would be a little bit happier. But if that's $5 million less in their pockets, who knows? But yeah, these are such weird times. It's all over the place. Like I remember watching the very famous. Well, reading the famous book and then seeing, ESPN did a movie on it, A Season on the Brink. Steve Alford was suspended, the former Indiana point guard who has since been, college basketball coach the last couple decades, and he was suspended for doing a calendar, an on-campus calendar that like raised money for charity. And Bob Knight was like, "How could you ever do this? Like you broke all these rules. I'm gonna have to suspend you a game and blah blah blah." Like, different age, man. Just once you just accept that it's a different age and this is the wild, wild west, it makes everything else maybe a little bit easier to tolerate.
So before I got into business, when I was still coaching college football, I remember when Herschel Walker wanted to go to the NFL draft after his junior year. He played 3 years. He was a stud as a freshman. He had played 3 solid years. He was ready to get paid and went to the USFL only because he couldn't go in the NFL draft. And then it was 89 that I mentioned when Oklahoma State was went on probation, and Barry Sanders is like, I got no place to play, because even with his school going on probation, if he wanted to transfer, he'd have to sit out another year, and he was 3 years into his career and yada, yada, yada. And the NFL let him go in the draft. The next year, 28 underclassmen were allowed in. In 2018, we had 109 underclassmen. Now we're back down to 63 this year, because kids now they're fighting to stay in school and get paid. They were fighting before to get out of school and get paid. One of you guys who, do a great job writing stories, you got to write the history of this whole thing about how it all started with underclassmen going to the NFL and guys getting paid. And, it was kind of like festering back then when people would just follow the rules because those were the rules, and they followed the rules. And it's as dumb as they might have been.
Rules were dumb. Money was different. Money changes everything. Money has changed Group of 5 football. And I know that's something that you're very passionate about. Look at the list of underclassmen who declared for the NFL draft this year. You know how many underclassmen came from the Group of 5 ranks? One. That's it. Because they're all going to power conference programs because the financial incentive is there. And if you're looking at what are the opportunities that guys have now compared to 20 years ago, I mean, it's just even 5 years ago. It's a different world. Like there are just so many different incentives that are available now at the college ranks. And so, for the sake of our sport, and if you're trying to project this team or that team or whatever, that's a positive. Like as someone who likes college football more than the NFL, I think it's good that college football is getting to retain some of these guys. As much as I'm like, hey, Trinidad Chambliss has a really good chance if he wanted to be the second quarterback taken and probably be a first-round pick. As a college football fan, I love the fact that we're going to get to see another year of him at Ole Miss, and he doesn't feel like he's hamstrung to be able to choose the NFL. Because if he was fighting this much to be able to stay in college, to me, that probably says he doesn't have the confidence yet to go to the NFL. And there's something, to be said for that and why it benefits the college game. So, yeah, I mean, as someone that realizes that college sports has a lot of problems, a lot of issues to figure out, probably some more guardrails that need to be put in place.
Yeah.
I also do want to look at the positives of understanding, like, it's good that better athletes and better players are staying at the college ranks and they have more financial incentive to do so.
Conor O'Gara with us here. Because you mentioned Group of 5, I'll say too that I think that eventually we need to get to another split. And again, I was a freshman in college in 1979 when something called 1AA was started. I mean, everybody was Division I. It was 130 schools or so, and they said, okay, this is different. You people are different, and they split Division I and 1AA in 79. I think 69 schools became Division I, and 75 schools or so became 1AA. You had to have an average of 17,000 a game to be considered Division I, and so that's what happened. Well, now here we are. Division I is 130 schools because of all the schools that came up out of FCS. We need to split again because it's a different world. I mean, God bless North Dakota State. in their little dome, but there's more people in the bathrooms at a Tennessee game than there is at a North Dakota State game. And now they're going to be with the big boys. You know, personally, I feel like it's time to whack it up again. I think that there's, 68, 69, 72, whatever number you pick. Those are different than the rest of this group of 6. And I think eventually that has to get sorted out.
Isn't it already sorted out? You know what I mean?
No, because we left good teams home so that we could put teams in, that didn't belong probably in the playoffs.
But yeah, hasn't that we don't need to relitigate that of, hey, did Notre Dame deserve to be there over James Madison and whatnot? Those arguments have already been made, and I won't add on top of that. But it's already been split. I think North Dakota State moving to the FBS level actually reflects that. I think they look at a team like James Madison, who was obviously scrutinized by the masses, and college football purists are like, this is disgusting, this is ridiculous. Oh, by the way, James Madison also gave us the coach who just won a national championship at 64 years old, and his top defensive coach just won the Broyles Award as the best assistant in college football. And oh, by the way, the core of his team came from James Madison and started at the SCF ranks. And there's, I think, more.
Team is gone now. I think all 22 starters have moved up to Power 4 schools now from James. But that kind of makes the point, right? Is that it's kind of a feeder system now.
Oh, 100%. That's all it is. And would you rather be the feeder system, or would you rather be the team that can get fed? That's what this comes down to. And there's, North Dakota State is paying the Mountain West, $12 million, with the installments and stuff like that. They're looking at that playoff revenue. They're going, if James Madison just made it to the college football playoff, even though they started the decade in the FCS, and if they can get to that place, then that still benefits them a great deal. James Madison is better for having Curt Cignetti and for having Bob Chesney, even though they've both moved on to power conference jobs. And you could say that their programs were considered feeder programs. They still benefited by being able to get to the college football playoff. And so I think that's the incentive for North Dakota State. And yes, it changes the way that we think about the sport, and there's still this massive divide, but I think the divide's just already there. And it's just whether or not it's officially outlined with the championships that they play for.
You mentioned that college football kind of runs away from the NFL playoffs for their own playoffs, which gives us midweek football all through December. It feels like we're getting Thursday, Friday games and into January. But they could fix that too. I mean, you mentioned, just from a scheduling standpoint, first of all, instead of starting Labor Day weekend, if we all started the week before, whatever they call week 0,
amen.
You'd get 2 weeks to yourself to really launch your season off. And then we could have conference championship games, Thanksgiving weekend. We could start the playoffs. We're going 2 to 3 weeks between each round, and then we're running into the NFL playoffs. You could play next year if you hell-bent on playing on a Monday. You could have the national championship game on January 11th, which is the day after the NFL season stops, and there's no other game, and there's no playoff game or no nothing. You could finish January 11th and have the Natty then, and have the semifinals, on the 1st. I mean, they could fix this very easily, it seems like. Just play every week in December and stop having 2 to 3 weeks between rounds.
My one request, I think Army-Navy should get its own day, and it should be the same day as the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I don't really want the Heisman Trophy ceremony on a Thursday night. I think that'd be kind of weird. I think it does deserve to have its own spotlight. So if you take essentially conference championships and then 2 weeks after, that's when the college football playoff starts, and it's every Saturday after that, I would love that schedule. I am not as big on just going straight into the college football playoff starting from the conference championships, if that's the current structure. Dan Lanning's idea makes a lot of sense. I think as much as we talk about roster attrition with college football playoff and how often it's the teams that get hot and the teams that stay healthiest are going to be able to have the best chance to win a national championship, I think that puts a little too much emphasis on attrition. And you could tell me, well, the FCS does it. The FCS isn't necessarily playing the same level of physicality that we see at the level, the Big Ten and the SEC are playing right now, and as well with the ACC and the Big 12. So I think that there's obviously a way for it to be done. They're scared because of money. It's as simple as that. They don't want to have those advertising dollars come down. They don't want to miss out on those opportunities.
Finally, there's a lot of discussion and gnashing of teeth as to whether or not Alabama and Ohio State are actually going to play in 27 and 28. Those games are scheduled. I am firmly in the camp of go play those freaking games. Just
play them.
Games. Just play the games. Don't worry about. By then there'll be 16 probably. Just play the games, okay? But having said that, the same people who are writing those kind of stories are not writing about the fact that again next year Indiana plays North Texas, Howard, and Western Kentucky. The Big Ten has 6 teams that won't play a Power 4 conference team in their non-conference. The SEC's compelling all of their teams to play those. You can play a 9-game schedule, but you should play a 10th game against the Power 4 at least, because that's kind of embarrassing as well. And I know what happened with Texas. I get it. I think that is kind of a little bit of an anomaly. But I think we still got to have these big intersectional games. We got to have them.
We have to. They provide great value. Texas A&M got a huge boost by beating Notre Dame. Yeah. And that gets conveniently left out of like the reward. Ohio State, huge benefit by beating Texas. There are more than one way there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know who these sickos are who are out here skinning cats, but there's more than one way to do it, okay? There just is. And if you look at it strictly from the viewpoint of, well, if Texas had just scheduled Texas State instead of Ohio State, they would have been in the college football playoff. All right, fine. You could probably make that case. You could also make the case that if they had just beaten Florida, they would have been in. And you still have to win football games. And I thought Ari Wasserman brought up a really good point by saying, look, once upon a time in the BCS era, if you lost one of these games in the season opener, you were cooked. Even 2004 Auburn didn't lose a game, and they were still cooked because of how they played the previous year against USC. Mm-hmm. And yet teams were still willing to schedule these big-time games, and we still need these games. They still provide a lot of value. Indiana in year one of the Curt Cignetti era, if they had lost 2 games in the regular season, you know where they wouldn't have been? The college football playoff. You know why? Because they didn't schedule a power conference team in non-conference play. It has benefited them. Surely it has. But there are people that are ignoring the upside of being able to get into this field by having quality wins and what it does for you in non-conference play. And it does give you the benefit of the doubt. It's like there's still incentive there. I really hope that Alabama and Ohio State are able to hold on to this in some capacity. Alabama actually went in the opposite way that so many of these programs have done now. If you look at their future non-conference schedules with 2 of these power conference matchups, Georgia's got a ton of them too as well. So I still think these are going to be part of the sport because, again, there's more than one way to get to the playoff. But man, it does feel like there are a lot of people that are looking at this just with a totally obtuse point of view with how to get into the college football playoff.
Yeah, and Alabama screwed themselves with the ridiculous loss to Florida State, but they also played a legit Big Ten team in Wisconsin, home and home, and
they still got in, after all that.
Still got in, even with all of that. Iowa gets away with Northern Illinois, Iowa State, and Northern Iowa next year. Penn State had a popcorn schedule, non-conference, and the coach still got fired. I mean, that's why everybody thought Penn State was a playoff team, and there's at least Michigan's playing Oklahoma. Ohio State will make that trip to Texas, but
Ohio State might have the toughest schedule in college football, and they will have earned it if they could be a 9-3 team that's talking about getting. Texas is only getting considered for the college football playoff at 9-3 because of how difficult their schedule was. So it's a maddening argument.
Yeah, and at least Indiana will play Michigan and Ohio State and USC next year, so they get a few of those. All right, so before you get snapped up by somebody else, how do they get the OG kickoff? How do listeners find that? How do they subscribe to it if that's what they need to do? Where is it?
Yeah, I appreciate that. If you already subscribed to the Saturday Down South podcast on your whatever you use to subscribe to podcasts, you're already subscribed to the OG kickoff, so thank you.
Okay.
It's the OG Kickoff on YouTube. It is also the OG Kickoff on Instagram. We're going to be like posting clips and doing stuff, a lot of stuff from there. And then email us as well, theogkickoff@gmail.com. If you've got suggestions for future segments, if you've got places that you want to be able to see us go during this off season, in which we go a lot of different places, a lot of unique things that we get to talk about, please let us know. We'd love to be able to do that. And appreciate everybody for following along.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I thought that Greg Wyshynski was the best hockey writer in the country when he was doing the Puck Daddy podcast at Yahoo Sports, and they went through some cuts there. He landed at ESPN and has done great ever since then. So I'm thinking the same for you. Something good is going to happen. You're just too good, Connor, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
And I'm looking forward to where you end up in the very near future. Conor O'Gara has been our guest. Thanks, Connor. Appreciate him. He's really good. I don't know what's going on. I can't even imagine what's going on at Saturday Down South, because if they're letting go of their best writer, obviously something's not right there. All right, let's get the phone lines going again. We do have this 500 fecta for you. Okay, 256-576-4977. I got $100 worth of Donato's Pizza. All right, all you got to do is give me a 3-man team for the Daytona 500.
No, he didn't slam you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
That's all. Just give me your team. Just give me your team. The best finishing team. If your team finishes 2nd, 4th, and 10th, then you get 16 points, right? So you just give me your team. If your guy wrecks, if you finish 1-2 wreck, you're done. You're not gonna win. So it's not about having the winner or having the top 3 drivers or anything like that. It's about having the best team. Your team might finish 7, 8, 9, and that's the best finishing score. All right. So that's the way it works. If you don't know a name or a number for a car, you can just give me the name and I'll tell you what his number is, and we'll put it on the sheet that way. I'll also give you the odds when we return as well. So go ahead and jump on the line with us, and we'll do that next. Or you want to react to anything we just talked about college football for the last 40 minutes. Anything you want to jump in on board on that, certainly you can get in on that as well. It's the Thom Abraham Show. Back with more in a moment.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday. Denny Hamlin, the 9-1 favorite. Kyle Busch on the pole with a lap of 183.925 miles an hour. He's 10-1. Chase Briscoe on the outside of row 1 is 20-1. The dual winners, Joey Logano's 10-1 and Chase Elliott 16-1. They'll start 3rd and 4th on the grid Sunday for the Great American Race. Tomorrow, it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Austin Hill, the plus 450 favorite to win the United Rentals 300. While in the Craftsman Truck Series tonight, it's a fresh from 4 to 250. Lane Riggs and Carson Hochevar, the 10-1 co-favorites. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. And check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Alabama knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. A couple of folks could see the lower 60s. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Valentine's Day is going to come with plenty of cloud cover and scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Better chances for rain on Sunday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by the award-winning service department at Woody Anderson Ford. That's right. They take care of the routine checkups. They keep your Ford or other brand in perfect working order. But if you have a bigger problem, they got these expert service technicians that can diagnose it, use state-of-the-art tools to get it resolved. I take my vehicles there. I've been doing it, for nearly 20 years now. It's Woody Anderson Ford and the service department. Second to none. Check out Woody Anderson Ford today. Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show on Football Friday. NASCAR in here as well with the Daytona 500 coming up. And I'm kind of paying attention over here on the side, myself personally, to the tournament that's going on, the Lippert Bassmaster Elite at Lake Martin. And Lake Martin down in Alabama, those who don't know, south of Birmingham, it's one of the most beautiful lakes in the country. It's definitely one of the most beautiful lakes in all of the South. It just has tiny fish. I mean, they got a ton of fish there. I fished a tournament there a couple of years ago. They got a ton of fish there, but they're Coosa spotted bass, and they're just tiny. They're just tiny. And it does make me wonder. I'll just throw this out there to you guys because there's a couple of things that are coming up that would make sense, and we're getting ready to really kick into the fishing season. Do you guys want a Friday fishing report? Because I got a sponsor for that if you want it. If you want a Friday fishing report, I'm talking about 4 or 5 minutes, and we could go from the Nashville area all the way down into Alabama and all points in between, pick a lake, whatever, tell you, what's hitting and how they're hitting and whatever. If you want it. If you want a Friday fishing report, let me know. All right. Grumpy is up first. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Do I want a fishing report? Yes, please. Yeah, absolutely.
So you'd like it? You would enjoy a little Friday fishing report brought to you by XYZ?
Yeah, I mean, you're giving me women's hockey reports. Why not do some fishing? It's 10 times better.
No, men's hockey. I don't do the women's hockey. But yeah.
Hey, listen, man. With the NBA, with the old Super Bowls, nobody watched the halftimes in 1958. And then they figured out that's prime territory to make more money. Yeah. And let's put on the Wayland Brothers or whatever that was. And how
you said marching
NBA
bands. Super Bowl 1, 2, and 3, they had marching bands at halftime.
How come the NBA doesn't want to make money with the NBA All-Star game? Or do they?
I think they would like to. They're fighting to try and figure out a way to make it work. And so they came up with this. Go ahead.
It's not the world team. Look, man, when I was a kid, we used to play basketball. I'm skinny and I'm fat, but I could shoot a 3. We used to meet kids down at the YMCA and play ball. And we used to break up into black versus white, and we didn't have a problem. We didn't make it racial other than black versus white. Why don't they do that with the NBA? We're all adults. There's no racial problem with that. Everybody's so afraid of race. Give us what we want. The white players would play harder. The black players would pay harder. And Budweiser
they did that.
Would give you $3 million. Huh?
They did that this year. They did that. It's an NBA versus the world. They did that because all the European players are white. I mean, when you see the European team hit the floor, it's going to blow everybody's mind. People are going to think they did what you said. You're going to look out there and you're going to say, well, there's Luka Doncic and there's Jokic and there's this guy and that guy other than the Greek Freak. You're going to look out there. It's going to be a bunch of white Euros against a bunch of brothers from the U.S.
And we're mature enough to handle it, and it'll be a lot. To me, it'll be more interesting. I don't know.
I mean, outside of Cooper Flagg, can you name a white American basketball player? I mean, there's Cooper Flagg, but who is born in America? Even Steve Nash was a Canadian. Can you name it's the funniest thing that white American kids can't play basketball, apparently, but yet all these European kids come over and they're dominant.
Con Knippel's pretty nice.
Con Knipple, there you go.
Who was the guy that I think his last name began with a D? I think he played. Did he play for the Mavs? The big center, white guy.
Oh, the European guy. You're talking about Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah, maybe.
You talking about Dirk Nowitzki?
Yeah, he went through all those teams and won a championship when they were all loaded with all-stars. I forget the guy's name. But anyway, that's what I want to see. I'm not a racist guy. I just think it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
That's it. Kevin Love, he's not playing anymore, right?
I think he's still on a roster, but he doesn't.
Oh,
really
is he
get
somewhere?
minutes.
Grayson Allen. I'm looking at the list. Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves would be
He's not bad.
He's a
pretty
game
good.
changer.
Tyler Hero. That's about it. Mason Plumlee. He's out there. It is fascinating though so it's not about race, right? I mean, if it was about race, Luka Doncic has been an MVP. Jokic, the Joker won what, 3 in a row? How many did he win in Hollywood? Didn't he win 3 in a row?
I believe he won 2 in a row, but it might be 3. Let me double check that.
2. I know at one point in time we had 5 straight European players win the NBA MVP, but I think that the Greek Freak was one of them, and he's
Jokic
African,
won
whatever.
Jokic won the 20-21 season, the 21-22 season, and then the 23-24. So he had
3 straight.
He had a gap year. He didn't win in the 22-23 season.
Okay,
but yeah, he did have 3 in a 4-year span.
So it's not about skin color; it's about style of play or something. I've always been fascinated by this, that Dirk Nowitzki could come over and dominate and be such a great player, but all the big white, where are the big white American dudes? Why for white American dudes, you're left with Austin Reeves and Tyler Hero? I mean, where are the white American dudes that can't play for some reason, and yet these guys come over from Europe and they're the best players in the league? I don't get it. I don't get it. By the way, the format for the NBA All-Star game, they're trying whatever they can to make it work. But are you more fascinated? Are you an NBA fan at all?
Yes.
Okay, so you're an NBA fan. The format for the NBA All-Star game is there's 2 American teams and a world team. The 2 American teams are split into the old guard, which is the Stripes, and the young guns, which is the Stars. I'm more fascinated to see the old guys and the young guys play against each other than I am even the Euros, because I think the Euros are going to beat the crap out of either team. That's what I think is going to happen. I think the Euros are going to beat either team. And there is no Steph Curry on the old guys team because he's injured. Which of those matchups are you more? Are you going to watch? Will you watch the NBA All-Star game? Because what is it? It's after the race.
There's nothing that can get me to watch the NBA All-Star game, if I'm being honest.
Not even this old guys against the young guys thing?
Nah.
I'm a little bit, maybe I'll just watch the highlight package. I'm a little bit interested in these teams and the way they have set them up and how the old dudes against the young dudes is going to work. All right. The young guys are Scotty Barnes, Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duran, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Johnson, and I think Tyrese Maxey. The old dudes are Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, my guy, Kevin Durant, De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and Donovan Mitchell. Those are the old dudes.
The old dudes should win by quite a bit.
You think? Or not? Or do you think the young guys will run right by them? Or the old guys may not be inspired?
Win. The old guys will win that one. You got Jaylen Brown.
So the young guys or the Euro guys don't have their two of their best players. They don't have SGA. He's injured. And they don't have the Greek Freak. He's injured. So those guys aren't there. But they got Luka Doncic. They got Joker, Jamal Murray, Norman Powell, Alperen Sengun. Is that how you say his last name? Siakam from Indiana, Karl Anthony Towns, and Victor Wembanyama. I mean, Wemby, Doncic, and Joker together. Who's going to win the tournament? The Euros, the old Americans, or the young Americans? Like that's kind of it's a little bit interesting. My cousin Vinny is up next. Vinny, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great, Tom. You doing well?
I am fantastic.
Well, that's the best news I've heard all day. Real quick at first, yes, we're on the fishing show. And I don't even fish, but I enjoy your Bassmaster show in the morning, on Saturday and Sunday morning, I believe it is. I enjoy just getting up listening to that. I don't know if it's just you, but hey, you don't know what you don't know, and you can always learn something. But yes, on the fishing show.
Just a little update as to, hey, this is what they're hitting. This is what I can get a guide on, whatever. I have plenty of people that would be interested in sponsoring it. Just a little Friday fishing report. Little Friday fishing report.
And the fact that you're in the advertising business, yes, sponsors are good.
Yes.
Nothing happens until someone buys a sponsorship.
No.
So
I don't open my mouth without a sponsor. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Secondly, have you happened to see Miracle on Netflix about the 1980 Olympic hockey team?
No, not the movie. You're talking about the documentary. I have not seen the documentary. I will watch it this weekend, though.
Please do. It's great. It's a must watch. It's just a blast. And a lot of things I kind of brought it back to memory is that we were behind Finland in the gold medal game after we beat the Russians. And we had to come back in that one. But the funniest thing is the Russians didn't know how to play from behind. They benched Tretiak, and then they got behind in the game, and they didn't know how to pull the goalie. They did not know how to play behind. And it's a real good documentary.
Yeah, and a lot of people just don't. A lot of young folks that weren't alive then just think about beating the Russians. And where were you? Where were you? Where were you when we beat the Finns for the gold medal?
Me personally?
Yeah. Do you remember where you were when the Americans won the gold medal?
Yeah, I was in an apartment with 4 or 5 of my buddies. We were watching the game and having a couple adult beverages. That's where I was.
I was on a plane. I was on a plane with my wife heading to. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time. I was on a plane with my girlfriend at the time heading for Florida to see my parents.
Well, so there you go. You remember where you were.
And they made the announcement. They made the announcement on the plane that the U.S. hockey team just won the gold medal by beating Finland. And I watched the Russia game at home, and then of course, and by the way, it's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand. When we saw a lot of people they didn't realize when they aired the Russia game on TV, it was on tape delay. It had already been played, but nobody knew because there was no, you didn't have the, phones and everything else with the instant information. So nobody knew that we had beaten the Russians, and then they played the game and everybody thought it was live and it was from earlier in the day.
Well, you could be listening to a radio station and the DJ might chime in the score. So you turned the radio off. You didn't want to know because it was going to be played later that night. One thing it does show a lot of, not a lot, but enough of, is what impact that had on the country. Because we were going through a bad time.
It was a bad time.
Jimmy Carter, the whole thing. It was.
So what happens is, right? So the Americans win that, and then later on that year, Ronald Reagan gets elected, and good happy times in the U.S. as the inflation, the runaway inflation gets under control. The hostages come home. Ronald Reagan is president. We've beaten the Russians in hockey, and we're off and running. And the great decade of the 80s was off and running.
Great decade of the 80s with rock and roll and hair bands and women with short skirts again. There you go.
That too,
right,
yeah.
Tom.
All right, appreciate you. It's a good job by you. All right, we get a break. When we come back, Ron will make his picks. He's next. You can get in there behind him. We'll still have a little bit of room. Thom Abraham Show, back with more in a moment.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready to roll. Behind a new manager and a reloaded staff, it's all about a return to prominence in the East. And it all starts at spring training.
Olsen drives one towards the chop house. Does it have enough? Yes, sir!
Catch the Atlanta Braves all season long. Our very first spring training game comes up on Sunday, February the 22nd, as the Braves take on the Twins. Right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by my friends at All About Water LLC. Well, you can learn more about them at allaboutwaterllc.com. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but look, they do everything that has anything to do with water, whether it's building a pond or refreshing your pond or a water feature on your property or drainage on your property. Whatever it is involving water, they do it. That includes irrigation, maintenance of your irrigation, installation of irrigation. All About Water LLC. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. You said you're an NBA fan, Hollywood. Who's your team?
I am a Grizzlies fan, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, a Memphis Grizzlies fan? Well,
Yes,
there
sir.
you go. Our Nashville affiliate, WNSR, is the Grizzlies Nashville affiliate, and I'm very good friends with the voice of the Grizzlies, Eric Hazeltine. So maybe we'll get him on at some particular point in time. Not a good year, of course, for the Grizz, but I have. You've been over there for games?
I have not yet. I've only been to
Ooh.
2 NBA games.
I've been to a few Grizzly games.
You're a Knicks fan, right?
I'm a Knicks fan, yeah.
My first game I ever went to was Game 6 in Indianapolis, Pacers versus Knicks last year.
The most stunning thing I ever saw was seeing Shaquille O'Neal play in Orlando when he was a young player, and he was on the court, and he looked like a dad playing with his kids, because he was the first big guy like that I saw live that was proportionally perfect. He was not like gangly, like I always thought that, for example, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was very unnatural looking gangly, but sitting in the stands and watching Shaq play for the Orlando Magic, he looked like an adult who was playing with children. It was crazy. All right, back to the lines. Ron is up next. Ron, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, Ron?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. You want to get in on this 500 Fecta?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, give me 3 cars in no particular order.
42, 8, and 17.
42, 8, and 17.
I let Hollywood pick for me.
That might be Hollywood's team. I'm not sure.
Shake and bake. It rhymes. They're both verbs.
Maybe I should call the guys when they're in there together, shake and bake, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Ron, we got you in, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
So Hollywood, for the guys that they have until Sunday, till they drop the green flag, to go ahead and make their picks on the text window. If you were advising them, who would you be picking?
As like a sleeper pick or just who?
No, just a 3-man team. The same rules.
That was my 3.
You already made your 3 pick? All right.
Well, yeah. He called in and he asked, he's like, what do you think? And I told him
nobody else heard this.
Yeah,
I mean,
take John Hunter Nemechek,
Yeah.
Kyle Busch, and then take Chris Buescher. Because the Fords were fast, and I just feel like they'd push Buescher to a win if they had to.
All right. I'm taking 22, 12, and 23.
I like that 23 pick a lot.
I'm going to take those 3 guys because I think he'll run near the front. I don't think he wins, but I think he'll run. Remember, this is just about, guys that finish in decent position. It's too bad that we don't have, what we'll have to do is we'll have to text Grasshopper and get his team as well, because he's an NASCAR fan too.
I feel like we should just give him the 3 worst drivers, and then that's just his pick.
You could do that. I don't know who the 3 rim riders would
we'll
be
go
in
like
this thing.
BJ McLeod, Casey Mears, and Riley Herbst.
It's pretty good. That's all because Danica Patrick isn't in the race anymore. The ultimate rim rider, which was Danica, although she ran decent, I guess, at Daytona a couple of times. Are you watching any of the Olympics?
I am not. The most I've watched was I saw a little bit of curling, and that's it.
All right, you need to listen. Would you please just do me a favor? Just online. Just look it up, because it's done now for the Olympics. Online, look up the snowboard cross.
Okay.
I mean, you got to just watch one run of snowboard cross. You will love it, because there's high banks and everything. There's banking and everything else as they go down. And there's 4 guys going down the hill together, and they draft and they slingshot to pass guys, and it's called snowboard cross. Just go watch a little bit of it. You'll thank me later.
So it's like Talladega Nights on ice?
It's Talladega Nights on ice. It's exactly that.
I like to think of Jesus like with giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band.
Little angel band. Speaking of Talladega Nights. All right, that's going to do it for us. Hollywood did a tremendous job. I was a little trepidatious. I'm looking forward to Monday. Until then, have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
It is Friday, February the 13th, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. Up on the hill last night, Alabama A&M's women won for the 11th straight time.